again with Hartlepool United Supporters Trust, John and Mark. Before we start, I know you've signed a non-disclosure agreement. Make sure you don't step over that line. I don't want you sued or anything like that. But at the same time, you're not media types, and we do appreciate you coming on and giving us these updates because they are so helpful and we're so appreciative. So where are we now at this really exciting time, I think it's fair to say?
Well, we hope it's going to be exciting. We were speaking to John Blackledge today, and we understand that the lawyers are in the process of trying to tie the deal together. They're working over the weekend to try and complete that, but it seems as though it's going to be sometime around about Easter that the actual deal will be done. And
what happens after that? Does it have to be ratified by the FA or something? Or?
Yeah, the National League and the Football League have got to ratify the takeover, and hopefully that will go smoothly if the lawyers do their job properly and it goes through without a hitch.
Well, how long does that take?
That's a good question. Hopefully not too long, but I think that's the reason why it's likely to be Easter, even though the lawyers may complete their work pretty quickly. It's the ratification process after that that might take a bit longer, and therefore the process might be round about Easter rather than next week sometime.
And are you allowed to give any details?
I think we released a bit of information last night which was probably already in the public domain. So the heads of terms between the two parties have been agreed, and they'll now take a step back, let the solicitors draft a contract. It goes off to the Football League and the National League, they ratify it and approve the takeover. John Blackledge is walking away with selling the club for £1. He will receive some money back based upon the club's performance over the next 12 years, but it'll be a fraction of the money that he put in. They're really, really small sums. So he will get some money back, but not all of his money, and a very small percentage of his money. But other than that, I think everything else is pretty much out in the public domain.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say with Mr. Blackledge, we've spoken to him on regular occasions, and he has been more than upfront with us. And I think he was a reluctant partner in this football club. He put a considerable amount of his own wealth into it, and now he finds he wants to walk away and recover some. But as Mark says, the amount he's likely to recover is going to be a small fraction of that which he's invested.
And I know I think people have been frustrated by the length of time that this has taken, but we first spoke to John and Raj and Jeff Stelling and Craig Higgins. We had a meeting back in January, and John Blackledge was absolutely adamant that he would only sell the club to somebody who had at least £3 million in assets, and who he genuinely thought could afford to take the club on. Because what none of us want is to be in this situation again this time next year.
Oh, certainly not. And going forward, what is the position of the Hartlepool United Supporters Trust in this deal, if any?
Well, we're not included in the heads of terms, and I think we've made that clear already. At the same time, I think Jeff Stelling and Raj Singh have both said that they are ideally looking for £1.8 million worth of investment, and that ties in with the projections that we've had from Supporters Direct. So at the moment they've got around 1.2 million, and they're still looking for investment, but they had to step in at this stage because the club was losing money, hemorrhaging money hand over fist. The council have lent some money, but if they didn't step in now, then there was a chance the club was going to go into administration, then probably liquidation. So they've stepped in with their 1.2 million, but they're still looking for further investment. We have to remember that this is a club that's, for me, got a broken business model. It's been operating for the same way for the last 10 years with the same results. We lose more football matches than we win, and we lose a lot of money every season. We've seen the books. We've got a club which is, to a large extent, got a National League income, so it's got non-league income, but its outgoings are still the same as if it was in League One. So there's going to have to be some fundamental changes, and we've seen fans already getting excited, as they do whenever you get a new owner, and saying,
absolutely,
are we going to bring in this player, are we going to bring in that player? Fans need to be realistic here. They have to keep their feet on the ground. Money's very, very tight. Raj is going to have to pay off a lot of bills. We've got players that are under contract, not just this season, but till the end of July next season.
And you're still fundraising, aren't you?
We're
We are
still
indeed,
fundraising,
yes.
yes.
When's the next event?
Next one's in May. We have a golf day organised, or rather Andy Wilson's organised that golf day. And then we've got our own lottery that we hope to launch in the very near future.
So we've got the licence for the lottery.
Yep.
We're hoping to have our first draw at the end of April, and we're looking for people to buy lottery tickets from us in April. And we're hoping that that's going to be a regular source of income for the Supporters Trust. And as we've said, we're still very keen to have fan involvement at the football club. We want to be on the board. We've never made any secret of that. We want to play an active part. We think we've got a lot to offer. We've got 1,100 members. We've got quite a lot of money in the bank. We have ideas on how we can do things commercially with the football club, which will increase revenue, and that's something the club must do. As I said, the income is really low, and there are great commercial opportunities, and I know Jeff Stelling is already speaking to potential sponsors for next season, and Jeff has the potential to pull some big names and some big money into the football club. But it's not just the big things, it's the little everyday things that go towards making the football club successful. And if you look at some of the smaller clubs, the Exeters, the Wimbledons, the Newports that are fans run, and the likes of Rochdale and Accrington that aren't fans run, these clubs are self-sustaining and they're a big part of the community, and people really buy into what's happening at those clubs. And unfortunately at Hartlepool, because we've had this sort of 10-year period decline, you've got cliques within the fan base that are arguing and fighting amongst each other. And we need to get rid of all that. Everybody needs to be pulling in the right direction.
Together, yeah.
Because this isn't the club saved and everything's fine. There's still an awful lot of work to do.
And the win during the week, that just buoys everybody up, doesn't it?
And raises expectations too.
And it was a great win because the goals came so late in the game. It shows that they never gave up fighting, and I guess that's what the fans need to do as well.
Yeah, I mean the performances have been improving. I was at Aldershot a few weeks ago, and although we got beat, I thought we played really well. And yeah, I mean the win during the week, our chairman is in his 90s and he was jumping around like an idiot behind the goal, on live television, made a bit of a fool of himself.
For a good cause.
For a good cause. But yeah, I mean it has the potential to be a self-sustaining, successful League 2, possibly League 1 football club,
Yes.
but it's only going to happen if everybody pulls in the same direction.
So next update, we think just after Easter.
We would think so, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and thanks for giving your time again.
Pleasure.
Cheers.